Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Maika and today I have a full face of Essence for you. I have scoured my makeup collection to find as many Essence products as I can to show you a full face of this very affordable European drugstore brand. The only thing I don't have is setting spray. I've never found a setting spray from Essence that I truly loved. There were a few okay ones, but I've also tried a couple that make my skin feel very itchy. So I'm not the biggest fan of Essence setting sprays. And I do have to say that quite a few of the products I have for you here today may no longer be available because I have quite a few like limited edition stuff. And Essence, of course, makes their line available in different territories at different times. So I'm not very sure how many of these products you can still find. However, I have a couple of classics here as well. So let's just get to this full face of Essence. And what I would like to start you off with is the My Beauty Lip Ritual, which is a lip balm. And this is the lip balm that's currently sitting in my Shop My Stash. And it's one that I like to slap on before I do my makeup so that it can sink in and then I can get to lipstick at the end of my routine. So let's put this on real quickly. And this has been a really nice lip balm for this purpose of just slapping something on so that your lips feel nice and nourished before you put on any other lip products. And I really like it for that. Is it the best lip balm I've ever tried? By no means, but hey, if you're looking for a very affordable lip balm with a very pleasant sort of like cherry florally kind of smell, then this is a nice one. Let's prime the face, and for that I have a new limited edition product that I've only tried it like once or twice so far, and it's the Bloom Baby Bloom Healthy Glow Primer Oil. And I spotted this in store the other day and I was like, ooh, I could pick that up. And I no longer had a primer by Essence that I truly loved. I kept the, what's it called? The Fresh and Fit primer or the Fresh primer. But it's never really been my favorite, and I thought, hey, if I then have something new to try for this video, wouldn't that be cool? So I only used it once, and it's a very runny texture, like you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a very sort of runny texture. Let me show you this. So if you put a drop on your hand, it just starts to run down immediately. So what I've been doing is that I sort of put a drop on like the bigger areas of my face and just rub it in, and that will give me the application. This is a primer oil, which is a type of primer I have never tried before. And the few times that I have now worn it, I didn't experience any extra breaking up of makeup, which I was very afraid of, but I have very dry skin, so that's perhaps good to know. So for me, this is actually a really nice product. However, I think I would like to use this more so in the fall winter time than in the spring summer time, because definitely this time of year I don't need as much moisture in my skin, but I love using oils in the winter time to really deeply nourish my skin, and I think that this can be one of those makeup-y products that can have that added benefit too. So I'm just going to apply this. And as you can see, it definitely does give a bit more of a glowy finish, and it feels very sort of oily now as well, but oily in a nice way. Like it's very much like, it doesn't make my skin produce extra oils, if that makes any sense. So this is a really nice product so far. It does have a very strong florally smell. So if you were thinking maybe I could try that too, and you aren't very much into fragrance, then maybe this is not for you. However, I do find that it evaporates quite quickly, so it's not overpowering once it's on your face, and because you only need a little bit, then it's okay. So yeah, I only use like 3 or 4 drops at a time, and this does come with 30 mils of product, and I think this was only like $3.99, so this is going to be a success. Well, update you, because I pulled this in my Shop My Stash, so I can update you on this product towards the end of the month for sure when I've had more use out of it. And then we have the Essence You Better Work eyeshadow primer. So I have tried plenty of eyeshadow primers by Essence and Catrice in the past, and only recently have they been coming out with eyeshadow primers that work. This is one that I've almost used up, and this is one that I really like. It's the only product from the You Better Work line that ended up working for me. Everything else just wasn't for me. And this is, ooh, did you see it's almost gone. And there's a lot of air build up. That was what I was gonna say. And it just like squirted out a huge amount. Oh well. So let me see. Now it may, oh, there we go. So this is just one of those eyeshadow primers that, you know, works quite well. And it's been feeling like it's on its last legs for months now. And all of a sudden it started to do this like thing where the tube flattens out. And now, of course, there was a lot of air in there and that made it squirt out a lot of product. But now I have enough to apply to my face. So now let's put some foundation onto my face. And for that, I have one that's a little bit older. But this is the only Essence foundation I have ever tried that works for me. It's the Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup Healthy Glow. They still do this. I have mine in the shade 10 Fresh Ivory. Very often Essence foundations are way too dark because they pull too orange. They did this tinted moisturizer in the You Better Work line. It looked orange. This is the only foundation that they've done that goes light enough and that comes in an undertone that works for me. However, if you have deeper skin, Essence is not your brand. Essence is definitely catering more to like light medium skin types and not to anything darker than a medium. And that's a shame because they're not that inclusive. And that's something that I would like to see them remedy. It still smells okay, so I kind of kept this foundation around in my declutter. So I always have a foundation around by Essence that works for me because this has been out for a while, but they haven't since put out anything that I feel I like. Essence base products, they're not the best. So see, that's a nice natural glowy finish foundation that works on my skin. Like it's not too dark. It's perhaps a little bit darker than what I would usually go for, but it works. I can make it work if I blend it down my neck a little bit more. For concealer, just like with foundation, I don't have a lot of concealers by Essence that I like. A lot of the concealers that they came out with in recent years either were too dark for me, too light for me, or they just looked really cakey. What I have been loving is this. This is the very ancient, as in this has been in Essence's line for I think a decade. Like this product has not been discontinued and they keep bringing it, like they just keep putting it out there. So this is one you should still be able to get, even if you know you can only get the basic line from Essence. I'm pretty sure you will be able to find it, and it's their Stay All Day 16-hour long-lasting concealer. I have this in 20 Soft Beige. It only comes in 2 shades, and this is the darkest one. It works really well. It's a very great one for the summertime, I find. So I think last year in July I used this a lot, and I think, yeah, I can sort of like look inside and I can see the applicator going down into this. So I think I have about, even though it seems to be going up the sides here, but I think I have about this much left of it. So this may be something to pull into my July Shop My Stash so I can try using it up, because this is definitely one I used a lot last year in the summer because it's such a nice lightweight texture and it really works really well on the under eye without looking cakey. And this is one that I really like, but like I said, it only comes in 2 shades. Like if they were to do this in like 10 different shades, it would be so much better. And now we're moving on to a product by Essence that I'm not a huge fan of, and it's their My Skin Perfector Loose Fixing Powder in the shade Light. It's a matte finish loose powder, which is not my favorite. And this is a product I've only tried a handful of times, and I very quickly decided that this wasn't for me. But this is one of the very few Essence powders I currently have in my collection. Again, base products, like complexion products, I don't really rate Essence very highly for. It's much more in their like cheap products and also in their like mascara range that I think they are doing the best job. But hey, I have this, so I'm gonna use it. The shade of this is a bit dark. It is a bit thick as well. Like you definitely need to work this into a brush to not have it go everywhere. And I just want to try and make this as light of a dusting as possible, because I remember the last time I tried to use this, look at that. And I've tapped off my brush. Gonna try and see if I can really get it in there. I just didn't really like it. It felt quite heavy. It's a very thick powder. It's not as finely milled as it could have been. Wow, look at that. I just gently tapped my brush into it. So this is one you just have to be very careful with. Maybe if you have oilier skin that can handle some like more heavy duty powders, this can work, but for my dry skin, it's just a bit too much. So that's why this is not my favorite, but for now it will get the job done. Brow products, I have two here. This is the Essence Superlast Eyebrow Pomade Pencil. This is one that has been in my Shop My Stash for I think the better part of this year, maybe all year, already starting last year. I'm not sure how long I've been using this. It's finally getting to the last little bit, but I think I can still use this for another 2 months. This is the brow pencil that just won't stop giving. Like, very often brow pencils are something that I can use up very quickly. And this only comes with 0.3 grams of product, so it's not a lot of product. But because it is a thicker pencil and it's quite stiff, you don't tend to use a lot of product in one go, and that's why it's not wearing down as quickly. I have this in the shade Blonde. And after that brow pencil, I want to go in with brow gel, and I'm going to break into a new Essence Make Me Brow. And this is in the shade, what's the shade of this? Oh, Blondie Brows. And this, I think, comes in 2 or 3 shades now. And this is one of my all-time favorite brow gels, so I can't wait to dig into this again. Because I've been trying other brow gels because I was like, I need to try other things. And currently I'm using the Glossier Boy Brow, which I like, it's okay. But before this I was using the Benefit one, which this is a dupe of, the Gimme Brow. I like this better. And this is just such an affordable option. I do have to say, because it doesn't come in that many shades, it might be difficult to find your shade. And I don't think they do a clear one. So that may be a bit of a shame, but for me, this blonde shade is absolutely perfect. And this is just a brow gel that keeps my brows in place, doesn't make them feel crispy. I think I have 3 of these in backup. Like, I don't buy a lot of backup products, but this, I'm just afraid they're gonna discontinue it and I can never get it anymore. So I've got 3 of those. Then for bronzer, blush, and highlight, I have some options here that are limited edition that I will be using. But because I also want to show you stuff that you can get your hands on, I'm going to show you these. So one of my all-time favorite blushes is the Matte Touch blush in Blossom Me Up by Essence. Essence used to do Satin Touch blushes. Those were turned into the Matte Touch blushes, and now they just call them the blush. They are exactly the same formula from what I can tell. They just rebrand them every once in a while. But these little plastic cheapy blushes by Essence are absolutely lovely. This used to have a star print all over it, completely gone. That's how much I use it. And they very often do very pretty shades as well that are very wearable. Plus they're like $2.59. And so now they also have the highlighter. This is, I think, something they started doing since last winter. And this is in the shade 10 Heroic. They do this in a couple of different shades, and this is a highlighter that last fall I just went to town with it because it was so stunning. And this is also in their regular line, so they now have the highlighter and then this same packaging, the blush. Find a shade that you like and I'm pretty sure you won't regret it, especially at this price point. What I will be using though is for bronzer, I'm going to be using this older limited edition. This is the Lights of Orient bronzer in Sunkissed Beauty. And Essence bronzers, very often for me, they are a bit too dark, a bit too orange, just a bit too warm toned. But this one works really well. The reason why it's not sitting in my makeup collection, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it has this really stunning pattern. And so I only use it in these kind of videos when I need an Essence bronzer and I don't have any other on hand. I still have an Essence bronzer that works for me, but that I keep in my makeup memories box because A, it's an older product, and 2, I don't want to ruin this packaging. So I'm just gonna lightly dust my brush in here to give me a little bit of color. I'm very much looking forward to the Essence summer collection where they have some new bronzers apparently. So I'm curious to see if that part is something that can work for me. But yeah, this is the Lights of Orient bronzer from their limited edition from a few years ago. Then from that same line as that primer that I used, the Bloom Baby Bloom, they came out with highlighters. And they also were doing something that they called a blush lighter, but that seemed to be a very similar shade to this, and I was like, might as well use that as a blush then. So this is called 02 Rose and Shine, and I'm not sure if you can see that. But do you see that this is like a duochrome, like pinky shade? So it's a white base, but then it has a very strong pink shift, so I'm gonna use that as highlight. And then 01 Daisy Me Glowing is a super, like this has glitter in it, like pink glitter, but it's like a rose gold kind of shade, and of course this is way too dark for me personally as a highlight, but I thought I could use this as blush. So that's what we're going into. So let me find my highlighter brush. So we're gonna go in with Rose and Shine. I haven't used these on my face yet. I've only swatched them and they felt really, really soft. So, ooh, that's a lot of sparkle. Well, not sparkle, it's, ooh, that's a strong glow. But it's pretty. On my light skin, these like very sort of icy pinky kind of shades, they work really well. I do have to say that in the viewfinder, it looks a lot more wearable than in real life. In real life, it's like pink, but the camera doesn't really pick up on the shade very much. But yeah, it's a very pretty icy base, but there's not a lot of back pigment to it, which is what I was afraid of, because sometimes Essence highlighters I've had the experience with that they have a lot of back pigment and it doesn't really work. But this, I think, is really pretty. Now for this one. This is 01 Daisy Me Glowing. I think I need a very sort of light touch blush brush for this, because I'm afraid that if I go in with my usual like Real Techniques very fluffy one, that this is going to just turn me into a clown. So this is the Look Sheer Cheek by Zoeva. I like this always when I'm not really sure what the blush is going to do. Is it picking up something other than sparkle? I'm not sure. Ooh! Is it really a blush? Is it a highlight? Let me see on the other cheek what happens if I wear this as a highlight. Like if I top up my highlighter with this. Oh, it's not that dark. It looks really dark in the pan, but it's not that dark. Like it seems to have a very dark base to it, but it feels okay. Like I don't feel that I really added a lot of color to this cheek. Just to make sure that we don't look uneven, I'll just blend in a little bit more. Like it perhaps has a little bit of color to it. Oh, this is a weird product because this has really chunky glitter in it. The other one did not. And you can definitely see a lot of that chunky glitter now. So this one, to make sure that I do have a bit of blush going on, I'll just throw on that matte touch blush just to make sure I have a bit more color to my cheeks. So I was hoping that that darker, like highlightery shade could function as a blush, but it didn't. So I went in with this real quickly to make sure I have an actual blush going on. And I do really like how this all pairs together. Like this blush with these two highlighters, it's a very pretty cheek look. So now I'm going to double prime my lids and I'll be right back with the eyeshadow. Okay, so I've double primed my lids, and for eyeshadow, I knew I wanted to go in with this. This is the Silver Glitter Show limited edition eyeshadow palette. Do you see that? Oh, it's got all these pretty sparkles. So it's really pretty cute packaging. And inside this palette has cool tones. So you know what I want to do, right? I definitely want to pull in some of this. It's perhaps not as cool toned as it could have been, but it definitely has a couple of really good shades. It only has 3 mattes, which is a bit of a shame, and these are quite powdery, but this is some of the best eyeshadow quality that Essence has done. I tend to not prefer Essence and Catrice eyeshadow formula. Like, it's okay, it's workable, but when they did this joint collection last fall, those were stellar. Those were stellar. I wish they would do this kind of quality in their regular line, just saying. So we have the palette right here, and I think I'm just gonna start us off with that basic matte. I think I want to deepen it up with that dark brown that does have a bit of shimmer to it, but just a little bit. So now that we have that sort of like base down, I want to go in with some of these cool tones. So it has this like gray tone navy. I'm going to put that in the outer V. So with the base down, I'm going to go into this like silvery taupey kind of shade, because we of course need to use that. We need to use that. So I think that makes for a very nice sort of like smoky top part, and I'm sort of going to repeat that on the bottom half. But I'm going to go in with that shade that we use a little bit to blend, that dark brown, and then this like taupey mauvey kind of shade in the more like outer half, inner half on the lower lash line. And then to finish it off, I am going to go into this champagne shade right here. And that would be the eye look. So now we're going to apply mascara. And for that, I'm going to be using the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. The one in the green tube. If you get that one, you will buy yourself one of the most affordable and one of the best mascaras on the market. And I'm going to combine it with my Catrice Glam & Dole Waterproof Mascara. This is a match made in heaven. I love this combination so much. And I'm so happy to be using a mascara again that I like, because for all of May, I was using a mascara I wasn't a big fan of. And then you can tell that this is a really, really good one. So yeah, that Essence Lash Princess Mascara has been one of my favorites, and I really like this look. So let me zoom you out so we can finish off this makeup look. And then I'm going to be applying one of their This Is Me lipsticks. This is in this shade 06 Real. Where I love Catrice for lipsticks, I do not like Essence lipsticks in general. Also, their more recent liquid lipstick line that I tried, I will link it in the eye above if you'd like to see me try all of the shades. It was very drying, and I find Essence lipsticks to be quite drying overall. However, this shade was unique enough for me to keep it around, at least for this video, but I think after this video I'm just gonna add it to the declutter pile, because Essence and lipsticks and me, we don't really go together. We just don't. So that is the This Is Me lipstick in the shade Real. This is 06. It's like a reddish tone nude. It's like a deeper nude shade that I really enjoy the look of on me. It's just that As I already mentioned, I find Essence lipsticks to be quite drying, so this is never really my favorite go-to formula. I, by the way, also have a video up with all of these lipsticks. So if you want to see me try on, I think there are 8 or 9 shades that are permanently available. So I did a video with that as well. So I'll link that in the eye above. I'll just be applying my setting spray in a minute off camera because that is not Essence. I'm still on my e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist that I put in this Makeup Revolution bottle because I like the spritzer better. As I already mentioned at the start of the video, I'm not a big fan of Essence makeup sprays. They never really work for me as much as some of the ones that I really, really love have done. So that's why I don't have that. But other than that, this was a full face of Essence. So I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Leave me a comment down below if you would like to let me know what your favorite product is by Essence. I would love to know, and if you would like to thumbs up this video if you liked it, that would be lovely. That would really help getting my videos out there. And yeah, if you'd like to subscribe and join my little family here, if you're not yet subscribed, that would be lovely. I make 3 new videos a week, so I hope you are all safe and healthy and that you would like to come back some other time to watch more of my videos. I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!